Whoa. Yeah. Absolute mayhem. Absolute mayhem going on. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Ethan here. Welcome to DRC TV. If you are coming back because you've already watched stuff, I'm super sorry. I've been late, like 2 months late since my last video. Maybe not quite 2 months, maybe like a month. If you're new, typically I have stuff going up pretty regularly, but I've had a super crazy spring. I'm trying to buy a house and I'm selling baits like crazy, and honestly when they're going out as fast as they have been, it's really hard for me to film because I lose a lot of production speed when I'm filming, because I have to stop and like make sure that you guys see what's going on, or make sure I get the shot. Like, stuff that matters when you're filming doesn't matter when you're just making them. Anyways, I am out of like 8 or 9 colors, or 8 or 9 baits, I guess, each different colors. Some are like 2 baits same color, some are just single color. But that is a brand new jug of Bait Plastics 242. That one got emptied like last week, and then I did some remelt stuff. As you can see, my station is complete trash. But anyways, yeah, this is pretty much all got to get cleaned up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shoot some just plain stock colors. So nothing super interesting going on today. I wish I had some really cool stuff. I will eventually have a video up on our Perch Pearl color that is not on the website. If you want to get that, that's basically like only if you're local. Chapman Sport Shop up in Black Lake, huge shout out to them because they carry pretty much everything that we offer. They don't have leeches yet, but I think they plan on it in the future. Anyways, they brought it up that they wanted that color in their stock lineup. I had made it before, and so I just whipped up a bunch for them, and I have stock at the house in those, but they're not going up on the website. I think I'm gonna drop them officially, like make them available probably in August. So I'm gonna give it this month just to get them some business, because you know they do so much for me as far as like making orders and putting my stuff out there and actually having stuff on the shelf, that I kind of want to drive business their way a little bit. But anyways, enough of me just blabbering. I will get back to you when the goodness reaches 400 degrees. Peace out. Okay, so we got her cleaned up pretty decent. I have 3 cups of Bait Plastics 242 heated up here. I believe it's right around 380. Alright, so basically we're going to be making just some stock. So I'm going to start out with Milk Money. Most of you probably know what color that is. Most of you probably know what color that is, but in case you don't, there is a shot of it. It is a clear with some silver and black flake in it. A very good minnow shad, like moon eye, alewife type pattern. It really crushes in deep water up here. So to get that color going, we're gonna need some Lureworks blue highlight, so 1.5 silver hex cut glitter, and some string cut black. What is this? 0.062 by 0.015. Yeah, there's no colorant added in this at all. I'm gonna go ahead and take our blue highlight here, and we're gonna put in about that much. This is a 1/4 teaspoon. It's the smallest measuring device I have. For the most part, when I'm making it, and I'm not filming, I'll just put it in until I see it fit, that's enough. But for the most part, that's usually what I end up with as far as how much I need. I'm just going to go ahead and stir that in there. And it is a powder, so it is going to take a second to get all dispersed. There we go. So now that we've got our blue highlight in there, I'm going to go ahead and take our silver. We're going to go about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Same with our black. Do the same thing, 50-50. About 1/8 of a teaspoon. And we're going to go ahead and get that all stirred in there. I don't know if y'all can see that very good, but that's what we're looking at. A little bit of a blue shimmer to it, and pretty much just clear with some silver and black flake in there. I got my custom drop shot molds here. These were made for me by Epic Bait Molds. 8 cavity, 4 and just over 1/4, I think. Go ahead and cramp them down in my vise here. And grab a glove. I have already lubed these up with worm oil. Basically all I do is I just take my worm oil, I think this is Dead On worm oil, and I just put it in one of these cheap little squeezy cups and just drop it down there. A couple drops just to make it so that it should be nice and smooth. I'm hanging on for dear life there with my O-rings. It's been about 1 year and 3 months since I got this injector, so they're still hanging in there, but barely. Basically, all we're gonna do here is draw a full injector, squeeze it all back out, and you'll notice that some air bubbles will pop up there. And I'm gonna go ahead and draw a full injector again. Go ahead and shoot the first mold, hold my steady pressure. You want to make sure that every time you shoot a mold that you hold pressure afterwards to fill in the cavity completely. Same thing with the next shot. And now I'm going to go ahead and just top my sprues off there. Get my excess back in my jug. So you can see there's still probably a chunk about 2 inches long in this. This is going to be pretty hot, so just set that off to the side. Go ahead and swing this out of the way here. These molds they cool down pretty quick. You'll get a pretty good feel for it once you've been doing it for a minute. But right about now is when I peel my tops of my sprues off. They're still a little bit gooey, running around a little bit, but as far as everything in the mold goes, they should be cooled right out. Go ahead and crack them open here. Yeah, my molds are a little bit on the cold side. So you can see I got a couple air bubbles in the heads there, but this side ended up shooting fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these while they're still kind of warm, these 3 that didn't turn out great, and I'll remelt those in the next run. And I'll just cure these 5 up. Actually, you know what I will? Actually, I'm just going to do these 4 because that's a lot of sprue to just leave on there to do nothing with. And then this guy just ripped to that guy, I guess. Go ahead and check this one. A little bit of the same deal. The mold's so cold that it shrunk up real quick and drew some air bubbles into there. Looks like I'm gonna need to pull 4 of them. Nope, just 3, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and pull those 3. And there's 5 on there that I'm gonna keep. I'll let that sprue fly. And now I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot this again. Same deal. I'm gonna push my excess out, try to get some of that air out of there. Go ahead and push that. Hold a steady pressure. Same thing, steady pressure. And then just top them sprues off. Get the rest of it in your cup. Now, my injector should be up to temp. So now I'm just, when I go ahead and draw my plastic, I'm just gonna go ahead and draw once. But I like to get the injector warm before I shoot just about every time. The only time I don't do it, like under no circumstances will I ever do it, is when I'm shooting Senkos. Because when you shoot those, the problem is the salt is constantly settling. Like, it's very hard to keep your salt in the mixture evenly. So when you go in and out like that, you are just giving it more time to settle back down, because I try to stir it up and then draw up quick and shoot, but it doesn't always work out like that. Go ahead. There. As you can see, no air bubbles that run. It's nice and warm. The good thing about these guys though is that once they've warmed up, they'll stay that temp, so they don't, like, it just doesn't seem to me like they heat up all that bad. But they do get warm relatively quick. So the first batch is usually not the greatest, but everything after that for a pretty good amount of time is really in great shape. I'll go ahead and clean this injector up now. It should be nice and cool. There's that log I was talking about that was stuck in there. Once you shoot these for a while, you realize that is an empty injector. So when it's left like that, you can't get any more out of it. It's usually clogged up there in the end. We'll go ahead. Throw my glove on here. We'll go ahead and keep shooting these. Enjoy the time lapse, and I will get with you when we move on to the next color. Hey guys, what's up? So I just got done shooting all those milk monies, and I ended up shooting some nuclear cucumber too, but it's so hot up here because it's obviously not climate controlled, and I'm in the attic of this garage, so it's so hot up here that I can't even touch my molds hardly anymore. But I shot I shot 30 times, I guess. So I have 30 packs of baits basically made. But we're gonna go ahead and switch over to running salt licks here, just so I can let them cool down, and then I'll get back on those. So basically what I've got now is 3 cups of the 242 there from Bait Plastics. This is my tub from Lurecraft, but it's actually Bait Plastic salt. So far I have not noticed anything different that would make me say you need to buy this over another kind. It's pretty much all seems the same to me so far. I'm gonna go ahead and add, I would say probably like 1/3 of a cup of salt here. Maybe not quite 1/3 of a cup. heavy quarter, yes. Real heavy quarter cup. I would say just go a quarter because I think those are a little bit thick there. For me anyways. So basically I'm just going to go ahead and heat that up real quick. Just because the salt tends to cool it down a little bit. We are going to make some olive goby here because that seems to be a hot color, and the stickworm. So I got some Lure Works, or what is this, Lure Craft? This is Lure Craft olive pearl powder. We're going to want some black 3.5 hex. We're going to be looking for a little bit of 1.5 copper, a little bit of 3.5 gold hex, and what is this, 3.5 square purple from Lureworks. That'll make it. That'll be everything we need. We'll go ahead and clean this nuclear cucumber out of the injector there. If there's something, if you want to see a video done on that, there's a better image of it. It's just like lime green with little flakes. If you want to see a video on that, let me know in the comments. Also, don't be afraid to let me know anything in the comments. If you have a question on anything you're seeing at the moment, why I'm doing anything in particular. If you need actual measurements, I can work to get more accurate measurements for you. If you would like a recipe, I will get you really, really close if I can't get you all the way. If there's any kind of gear you need to know about, like why I'm using what gear, whatever, don't be afraid to ask. I love interacting with you guys. It's one of the main reasons why I do this, is just because I like to talk to people about this stuff. But I don't have enough time in a normal day, so this gives me the platform to connect with people that actually have questions about this stuff and really care about what they're doing. Okay. Go ahead and stir that up a little bit there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start adding our colors here. This is our olive pearl powder. I'm going to go ahead and put about I would say an 1/8 of a teaspoon there. Say it looks about right. Maybe a little bit more than that. Because these guys you want to, this color isn't so much as like an accent color. It's more like actually the color that the bait is going to be. So we're going to want it to be pretty thick here. I'm going to go ahead and take our gold flake, our 3.5 gold flake, and go ahead and put an 1/8 of a teaspoon of that in there. I'm going to put about an 1/8 of a teaspoon of this copper flake. Let's roll with a full quarter of black. And we'll go a full quarter of purple. Now the idea here is to get your sheen of your olive color there for this olive goby right before we add our color. We're going to go ahead and take a little green pumpkin here. And I would say about 30 drops of green pumpkin in there. Because that pearl powder needs something to to shine behind, I guess. So you can't, it doesn't really work if you just use the pearl powder. I mean, it can, but that swirly kind of effect that you get with the pearl powder is, it's just amplified, I guess. Okay, so we got our color mixed up here. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot these. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot these salt licks here. I'll go ahead and draw up a full injector. Hold my pressure here. And just make sure I top off my screws there. Go ahead and make sure that that stays good and stirred up here. So far, I think that's going to work out good. Go ahead and peel my extras off the top of these screws here. There you have it. There is olive goby. These look pretty awesome. I'll leave them here just so I can kind of showcase the color a little bit here. There you have it. That is my olive goby salt lick. You can see the shine on the pearl powder. Yes. It does come through. Killer color for up here in the Thousand Islands region. I would have to believe that color would work pretty much anywhere. It's not so much of a goby color where I think another fish wouldn't eat it. In my opinion, it's probably one of the best green pumpkin colors you could ever throw. Alright guys, we're pretty much finished up with those olive goby stick baits. I had something come up, so I can't really go a whole lot longer. I've got some odds and ends stuff made up, but what I want to make sure that I go over with you before I wrap this video up is, so right now I've got some green pumpkin chunks of my Ned Leach, okay, and that is mixed like probably 50-50, whatever. Like if you're completely new to bait making, basically what happens is like all of this stuff, like your extra, like you can remelt all this, and for the most part, like there are colors that remelt well, and then there are colors that don't remelt very well. Like purple does not remelt well. White is like almost awful. Anything like clear, once you heat it up so many cycles, it starts to get kind of like off clear, I guess opaque. So just know that you can remelt all this. To get this plastic stiff enough to where I think it's worthy of a Ned rig, or where I think the Ned rig, you know, is warranted to be able to be used, or any whatever you want to call it, you got to add hardener to that 242 worm blend, or not worm blend. It's medium. It's pretty much a worm blend. Like if you're throwing dead on worm, 242 medium. What's the other one there? Like Dewitt's Plastisol or whatever, like their medium blend is what I would call a worm blend, or like a drop shot. Finesse is like a little bit too soft. I don't even know what you do with that. I mean, that's like soft. But this is like, I would consider this like an ideal drop shot bait blend, or a Senko blend, or it's definitely too soft for like a ribbon tail. That's about it. Basically, like stick bait and your drop shot bait. This is the blend. But for a Ned, it's got to be a lot tougher. So you're gonna add hardener, and you'll notice this is uncooked. Okay, you cannot add hardener to hot plastic. Or you know what? I won't say that because I'm sure somebody out there has done it, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you can do it," but you can't. You shouldn't. You should always add your hardener to cold plastisol, always, because what'll happen if you put it in there hot, I've noticed with like Lure Works blend and Lure Craft blend and Dead On blend. I haven't tried it with this. Maybe I should, but I've noticed that if the plastic is hot, because you'll like make a color up, whatever, before you heat it sometimes, and I'll be like, "Yep, gonna be swim baits," and I'll shoot a run and be like, "Oh no, these are too soft," and I always like, for some reason, just forget about it or whatever, but you should never do that to hot plastic because it just immediately solidifies. And you get these like nuggets in your plastisol. And it makes your plastic like goopy, like your baits are like stringy, stretchy, whatever. And I thought the first time I did it, I'm like, oh man, I just cracked the code for Z-Man stuff, you know, like their Lastech or whatever. I just figured it out. But it just rips. It's not that stretchy. But I just wanted to like really clarify on that. Do not add that to warm plastic. Like lightly warm, you probably could get away with it. But like if it's clear, don't even bother. You're just gonna ruin it. Just let what you want to do is either pour out your plastisol on like a mold, flat surface of a mold, pour it out, and it'll just harden up quick, and then like ball it all up, cut it all up, and then start over. Or just let it sit there in the cup and just get hard and just let it solidify. It'll be like a cup shaped rubber worm or whatever, and then just cut it all up into chunks and use it as remelt. But it's undyed, uncolored, so you shouldn't have any issues as far as like how your baits turn out, unless you're going for crystal clear. Then you may have a problem, but it's just so much better to just go ahead and do that than it is to try to add it and hope for the best, because I have yet to have it work out for me, and I just end up wasting entire batches of plastic. Like I've done it in my Presto pot, making a big run of baits. It just completely toasted like a whole gallon of plastic. It sucks, and you're pretty much just eating the money if you're a business. If you're not a business, then it sucks even worse, because nothing is paying for it but you out of pocket. And Plastisol's relatively expensive. I mean, like, it's definitely way cheaper than buying baits, but it's still, I mean, if you bought a gallon to make a color, and you go to make that color and you forget to put your hardener in it and just toss it in there, you completely ruined, you know, $30 or whatever, 25 bucks. I don't know what they get for a gallon, but I'm guessing it's about $30 if you just completely toasted it. It's good for nothing. I mean, maybe like a flipping bait or something that's gonna get smoked so hard it's junk anyways, but that'd be the only way that I would ever get caught using it, because it's soft. I mean, it's soft. But anyways, I guess enough of that. So I'm gonna pop these out. My drop shot mold's there. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in this Ned Leech here from Epic. This is their 10 cavity. Totally worth the extra money for the 10 cavity. Totally worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this out. You can see it's still not cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and stir it. It should be much more fluid, like should almost seem like a very thin liquid. You're just gonna want to scrape the bottom of that real hard. Try to get everything you can off there. And then as far as the beads go, you know, because 242 does not come any floating or sinking, it just comes as 242. It is what it is. I can't tell you if it sinks or... I'm pretty sure it floats, but I don't know. After it cures, it may change, because I don't sink test any of my baits or nothing. They cure in the air. They flash cure in water. I do a 5-gallon pail of cold water, and then after that they cure in the air for 24 hours. So Whether it sinks or not, I don't know, but I do know it does not float enough to stand up on a mushroom head, as far as, you know, if you're making a net or whatever. And it definitely doesn't float hard enough to pick, you know, your big gauge flipping hook or EWG or whatever, or kick up on a shaky head or something. So basically you have to add the air beads or whatever they're called. You basically have to add this stuff. There's that if you need to pause it to view it or whatever. This is Bait Plastics PA 100 floating additive. Known in the state of California to cause cancer. Big surprise. But it's just like, it looks like salt, but it weighs like nothing. Like, I mean, it's super light. You got to be careful with this stuff too, because if you add too much, it'll change the color of your bait. So like, don't add it like you add salt. I did that already, and that wasn't very good. So I'll go ahead and stir this up one more time here. It's getting real close. Those hard chunks are now melted. It's all kind of changing the same color, but still a little bit on the gooey side. I'm gonna pop it back in here real quick. Okay, we're right about where we need to be here. So I only added about 1 cup of plastic, so I'm just gonna add a dusting of this stuff, and I mean, it is like poofy, powdery, whatever. It blows away in the wind from my draw fans to suck my fumes out. So I'm just gonna do that much there, just enough, and it's like micro beads or something. It's like just little capsules of air basically that are buoyant, from what I gather, and they just make your baits float. Yeah, you just don't want to get caught using way too much, because it'll like totally screw up the color of your bait for whatever reason. It just, I don't know, makes it act all funky. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a splash more of my green pumpkin colorant there. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my black flake. So if I was going to do this, a little bit of copper. If I was going to do this and measure it out, I would do about 50 drops of green pumpkin. I would do a 1/4 teaspoon of black flake, a 1/8 of a teaspoon of copper, and then you're done. That's it. And for 3 cups of plastic. That looks perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this up here. Draw and inject. Right there was my point, so I'm gonna just go ahead and hold that, just to try to prevent denting and air bubble buildup if I can. Then go ahead and top my sprue off. Put my excess back in there. I can't believe we already sold out. We are out, like completely out of green pumpkin leeches. The bottom feeder 2.0. You guys really stepped it up hard, and we're buying some baits last weekend. I think we shipped out like 35 bags of these green pumpkin leeches, and I mean, we shipped a bunch of other colors and whatnot, but I just couldn't believe it. It was like 4 days or something. We just sold all of them. Completely out. I had to tell a couple people that I had to wait because I got stuff going on and whatever, and sometimes it's hard to make them on time, but I mean, they were flying out of there. But I also think they're priced right. think they're $2.99 a bag or something, or $3.50 a bag, or $3.99 a bag, whatever. They're not very expensive, so I guess I shouldn't be that shocked that people just tossed a bag into most carts. Like, I mean, they weren't just people just ordering these, and they were ordering whatever, and they happened to buy. Most of the time it was just 2 per order, but we had a couple people that wanted, you know, like 4 or 5 bags. So hopefully I get some pictures soon of some fish getting caught on these bad boys. So I have yet to receive a photo. There's those leeches right there. That'll be a good thumbnail right there. You see, it's kind of see-through just on the tag end of it there. That's what you're looking for. And they float like a champ. Perfect. Go ahead and give this next one a shot. Huge bonus of having 2 injectors too, because they heat up fast. So I always just take my 2 and I rotate them on top of other molds, because the aluminum will draw the heat out of the injector and it helps cool them down a little bit faster. I mean, nothing ridiculous, but it is beneficial. I will say that. There's absolutely no way that it doesn't help at all. If you are interested in purchasing any of these baits, I will have a link in the description below. It's www.drcbaitco.com. Message any of our pro staff members or any of our sponsored members like Jake Schultz, Joe Foisey, Cole Reinman. Zach Gutremont does not have his discount code yet, but all of our pro staff and sponsored members have a discount code attached to their name, and they can give that to you and you can receive up to 10% off, I believe. Pretty sure it's 10 or 5% off your order. And then if you're interested in any of these molds, I will link those in the description below also. I do at almost every video. These are all made by Epic Bait Molds. I don't own a single thing that's not produced by them. Still waiting on a crawl mold, so hopefully they come out with one, or they decide to work with me on one. I don't think they're taking any custom orders right now, but it would be awesome if they did, because I am hurting for one. Wicked. That's next on the list is craw, and then probably after that it's going to be a topwater frog, if I can find one that I like enough. Their Epic Ribbit that they did with Marling is a super nice bait, but it's just a little bit bulky of a profile for what I'm fishing up here in my market, so I don't own one. But I will say this much: if you were in Florida, that Epic Ribbit would slay. Or really anywhere south of probably Virginia, I would think. Those come out good. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Hopefully I'm gonna have some better content rolling here. Once I move in to the new house, everything will be way easier because I won't have to travel. Right now things can get tough for me while I'm here because I have to go 30 minutes from where I live right now, out by the St. Lawrence River, to come here to make baits. And that is kind of a problem when I'm coming to make baits, say, after work. Because I don't have a whole lot of time after work anyways, so I have to account for an hour of travel, which super sucks. So anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. I did what I could. If this is more or less probably going to be just a comments conversation video, but I would love to hear anything you guys have to say, anything you want to see me do. I don't know if there's any challenges floating around as far as bait making goes, but I'm up for just about anything. It gets really tough for me to create content too, because so much of my bait making is directed towards sales that I don't really have much time to play around, or much drive really to play around with like fancy details and stuff. So if anybody has anything as far as that goes, that would be really interesting to hear too. Please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and just know that it means the world to me when you guys do that. There will be another giveaway at 400 subs. We're already at like 250, I believe. The last winner of the giveaway, Ian Webster, I actually fished with them opening weekend up here for smallmouth. They booked a trip through the charter boat that I work as a deckhand on. So I ended up actually delivering him those in person. Ian, it was super good to fish with you, dude. Hopefully sometime I can run down there to the Lower Niagara and we can film a video down there, fishing down there in Buffalo. That would be pretty cool. Like, I don't know, DRC goes to the city limits or something. That'd be kind of neat. But yeah, so there'll be another giveaway, 400 subs. I'm not sure what to do for the giveaway. It will be bait related, but I don't know what or how many yet. Maybe by then I will have an open pour mold, potentially. So thanks for watching, really appreciate it. See you next time. Tight lines as always. Peace out.